Hi guys, how are you? So yeah, I'm the skipper of 156, which is a Mach 3 Class 40, so pretty nice boat. It's a boat built for this sort of racing, so going around the islands, loads of maneuvering but with long legs, the capacity to go really fast on reaching, downwind as well. So here we are at the helming station, so where we're going to spend most of our time during the racing. So not only can you helm the boat from here, but you can also control the instrument and the pilot. So it makes it the sort of heart of the boat, and it's where everything's going to happen. So you can trim the sails, you can use the winches pretty easily, you have access to the traveler as well to use the main. And yeah, so this is basically the power center of the boat. So here we are inside of GUIDI 156. So a boat is basically like an airplane, and you all see the mast. So the mast is basically the wing that is out of the water. But under the water there's another wing which we call the keel, which is down there. And that allows the boat to, with the lift principle, to go forward with the sails. So to help us in this, we've got ballast. So a whole ballast system. So on each side we'll have 750 liters in 2 compartments, and that allows us to make the best of the power of the boat. So we can counterbalance the effect of the wind, and this way we can add power and go faster. So we fill up seawater with a big pump in there, which is a bit counterintuitive, but it works, trust me. And so ballast are one thing, and then there's the entire navigation that you can do from here. And so you get the screen here, and everything about strategy and tactics will be calculated from here. A little bit of help with from the radars from time to time, with the AIS, which shows us our competitors in the back of the yellow box here. And here what you see is the engine. This is purely for power and for going in and out of the harbor. So during the racing, it cannot be in gear, but we'll turn it on to make some energy, so to fill up the batteries. There's also a big accent put on safety. So we have a lot of safety equipment, which you can see here in the bags, on top of spares, and we bring basically everything we need with us during the race, so we don't have to stop if we break. So an interesting thing that you have to take into account is that every time we maneuver, every time we'll change the angle with the wind, we'll have to move all the weight that's on board. That's why everything is in bags, it's because everything is going to move forward and aft and from side to side, depending. And so that is also one of the big jobs on board, which everybody loves, of course. Forward there you can see all our sails. So class rules means we can have 8 sails at the same time during a race. So we'll have basically the main, which you have to have, a J1, a Solent, which you have to have, a staysail because it's for safety, and a storm jib. So that's 4 sails that you have to have, and you cannot go around it. So the choice, the strategical choice is going to be between the 4 sails that are left, which is usually 1 big gennaker, 1 fractional gennaker, 1 big spinnaker, and 1 smaller spinnaker, a heavy spinnaker. And so you can change in between a bigger or smaller big gennaker, code 0, or bigger or smaller code 5 for different angles, for different, fetching, reaching, deep reaching. And then spinnaker, the big one, is always going to be as big as possible, but that you can choose to have, an A5, so a spinnaker that goes masthead but that is much smaller, or a fractional that is bigger. And so you can sort of change, and if you have enough sails with you, you can choose the better sail for the race you're going to race. So finally, we're back into the cockpit. And so during this race, it's going to be a fast race. It's not going to be a really long race, it's only 600 miles. but there are a lot of turning and lots of going around, so there's going to be a lot of sail changes. And because we are 3, hopefully we can get somebody helming most of the time, which will help us a little bit, but also the pilot will do a great job. And our job will be to make the boat go as fast as possible. So play on the lines, play on the weight, play on everything we can to limit drag, to have the sail as taut as possible, and to go as fast as possible. So I hope you enjoyed our little tour of GUIDI FRA 156. Again, thank you to our amazing sponsors that have helped us all along the way and that have been amazing from day one. And wish us luck for this race.